Princess Diana's secret warnings about King Charles you won't believe. Princess Diana knew more than she ever let on publicly, and her private fears about King Charles have been hidden for decades. In secret recordings and personal letters, she left behind warnings that most people still don't know about. These weren't just concerns about their marriage. They were far bigger, hinting at King Charles' future role and the potential dangers it could bring to the monarchy. What did Diana know about King Charles that made her so worried? And why have these warnings been largely ignored or dismissed? In this video, we'll uncover the shocking details of Princess Diana's hidden fears and why they're more relevant now than ever. Stay tuned, because the truths we're about to reveal will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Princess Diana and King Charles. Number 1. Princess Diana's prediction about King Charles' unsuitability for the throne. Princess Diana was deeply concerned about King Charles' ability to handle the immense responsibilities of being king. According to those close to her, she often confided in her inner circle that King Charles lacked the emotional resilience necessary to lead the British monarchy. Princess Diana's concerns went beyond just his personal struggles. She believed that King Charles didn't have the natural empathy and emotional intelligence required to connect with the British public on a meaningful level. In Princess Diana's eyes, King Charles was someone who found it difficult to engage with people in the same way she did, whether it was during royal engagements or behind palace walls. His introverted nature, combined with the pressures of royal duty, seemed to make him retreat rather than rise to the occasion. Diana feared that this emotional detachment could prevent him from being the kind of monarch that the country needed in times of crisis. As time's gone on, many wonder whether Princess Diana's instincts were correct, especially as King Charles navigates his reign with the weight of modern expectations on his shoulders. Number 2. Her fears about his relationship with Camilla. Diana's worries about King Charles' relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles were no secret, but what many don't know is just how deep those fears ran. Long before the world knew the full extent of King Charles and Camilla's relationship, Diana allegedly warned that King Charles' obsession with Camilla would be devastating, not just for their marriage, but for the monarchy itself. She believed that if their relationship became public knowledge, it could destroy the royal family's reputation and trust with the public. Diana was well aware of how closely the British press followed the personal lives of the royals, and she knew that any scandal involving King Charles and Camilla would be impossible to contain. More than that, she saw the emotional toll it was taking on King Charles, convinced that he would never be able to give himself fully to his duties as long as he remained emotionally tied to someone outside of their marriage. The public fallout after their affair became known was exactly what Diana feared, shattering the image of a united royal family and forever altering the British people's perception of their future king. Number 3. Princess Diana's concern over King Charles' temper. King Charles' temper was another aspect of his character that greatly worried Diana. According to reports from those closest to her, she spoke frequently about the king's volatile mood swings and outbursts. Diana allegedly believed that King Charles' short fuse could lead to serious issues within the royal family if not addressed. She often found herself walking on eggshells around him, unsure of when his temper might flare. These moments of anger were not limited to their private life. Diana feared that if King Charles' temper ever became public, it could tarnish his image and make him appear unstable in the eyes of the British public. In a role as sensitive as the monarch, where calm leadership is essential, Diana knew that any hint of a temper could be disastrous for his reputation. While the royal family's done its best to keep such personal matters out of the spotlight, there's no doubt that Diana saw this as a major red flag for his ability to rule effectively. Number 4. Her worry about King Charles' public image. Princess Diana's concerns about King Charles' obsession with his public image were perhaps among the most revealing. She felt that King Charles was so focused on maintaining a certain facade that he was willing to sacrifice personal relationships, including their marriage, to keep up appearances. Diana saw this as a dangerous strategy, one that could eventually backfire. She believed that King Charles' need for public approval made him distant, cold, and more concerned about how he was perceived than about being authentic. This obsession with image in Princess Diana's eyes was detrimental, not only to his personal relationships, but to his ability to connect with the British public in a meaningful way. Diana understood that the people craved genuine connection from their royals, something she excelled at, and worried that King Charles' calculated approach would leave him out of touch. She feared that, in his quest to protect his image, King Charles would lose sight of what truly mattered: his relationships with his family and his responsibilities to the nation. Number 5. The secret letter she wrote about his coldness. In private letters, Diana expressed deep concern over King Charles' emotional coldness, particularly in his relationships with his children and the public. According to reports, she feared that King Charles' inability to express affection would alienate him from his sons, especially Prince Harry, who was particularly sensitive to emotional distance. Diana believed that this lack of warmth would also create a barrier between King Charles and the British people, who expected their future king to be approachable and compassionate. Princess Diana's fears were not without reason. She saw firsthand how King Charles' rigid adherence to tradition and formality created a sense of emotional isolation within the family. In her letters, Diana warned that unless King Charles found a way to bridge this emotional gap, he would struggle to connect with both his children and his subjects. Her words, written in confidence, reflect a deep understanding of the emotional toll that royalty can take and serve as a chilling reminder of how personal dynamics can shape the future of the monarchy. Number 6. Her fear that King Charles would be manipulated. Diana was particularly concerned about the influence that certain advisors and members of King Charles' inner circle had over him. She believed that King Charles was easily swayed by those around him, particularly by individuals who didn't necessarily have the best interests of the monarchy at heart. Diana feared that King Charles' reliance on these advisors could lead him down a path that would ultimately harm the royal family's legacy. Princess Diana's fears were grounded in her observations of how King Charles operated within the confines of royal duty. She believed that he lacked the strong decision-making abilities that were necessary to navigate the complex political and social landscape of being a monarch. In her view, King Charles' susceptibility to manipulation was a major weakness, one that could be exploited by those seeking to advance their own agendas. Princess Diana's warnings about this issue highlight her concern for the future of the monarchy and the potential pitfalls that King Charles might face if he surrounded himself with the wrong people. Number 7. Princess Diana's warnings about King Charles' parenting style. Princess Diana's concerns about King Charles' parenting style were well documented, and she worried deeply about the impact it would have on their sons, particularly Prince Harry. According to those close to her, Diana believed that King Charles' traditional detached approach to fatherhood was damaging. While King Charles valued discipline and formality, Diana believed their sons needed more emotional support and nurturing. Diana often spoke about her desire to give their children a sense of normalcy and emotional security, something she felt was lacking in King Charles' approach. She feared that his stiff upper lip mentality would create a divide between him and his sons, particularly as they grew older and faced their own personal challenges. Princess Diana's intuition proved eerily accurate, as the strained relationship between King Charles and Harry has been the subject of much public discussion in recent years. Her warnings about the long-term effects of King Charles' parenting style continue to resonate today, especially in light of the ongoing family dynamics. Number 8. Her belief that King Charles was more concerned about power. Diana reportedly confided in friends that she believed King Charles was more interested in the power and status that came with being king than in the responsibilities. She worried that his desire for influence would overshadow his ability to rule effectively. According to Diana, King Charles' focus on maintaining his position and authority could blind him to the needs of the people he was meant to serve. Princess Diana's concern was that King Charles' priorities were misaligned with the values she believed a monarch should embody: compassion, service, and duty. She feared that his pursuit of power would lead to decisions that were more self-serving than beneficial to the country or the monarchy. This belief shaped much of Princess Diana's perception of King Charles as a future king, and it remains a point of contention for those who question whether he truly has the people's best interests at heart. Princess Diana's insights into King Charles' motivations offer a fascinating glimpse into the dynamics of power within the royal family. Number 9. The warning she gave about King Charles' political views. Diana was deeply concerned about King Charles' outspoken views on politics and the environment, fearing that they could cause issues for the royal family. Royals are expected to remain neutral on political matters, and Diana worried that King Charles' willingness to publicly share his opinions could undermine the monarchy's position of impartiality. She believed that this could create a dangerous precedent, as the royal family's meant to be a unifying force in the country, not a divisive one. Princess Diana's warnings about King Charles' political views were not about the content of his beliefs, but rather the potential consequences of a future king openly advocating for certain causes. She feared that his involvement in political matters could alienate certain segments of the public and create unnecessary controversy. As King Charles continues to be vocal about his environmental concerns, Princess Diana's predictions have proven to be remarkably prescient, raising questions about how his activism might shape his reign as king. Number 10. Her worry about King Charles' health. Another lesser-known concern of Princess Diana's was about King Charles' health, both mental and physical. She reportedly feared that his health issues could become a public scandal if they were not properly managed. Diana knew that the pressures of royal life took a toll on everyone, but she worried that King Charles might not be as resilient as he appeared. She was particularly concerned about the strain that his responsibilities would place on his mental health, especially given his tendency towards stress and anxiety. Princess Diana's warnings about King Charles' health highlight her protective instincts, not just as his wife, but as someone who understood the immense pressures of royal duty. She feared that if his health issues were ever made public, it could cause a crisis for the monarchy, undermining his ability to lead. This concern underscores the fragility of the royal family's public image and the constant balancing act between personal well-being and public responsibility. Number 11. The secret conversation she had about King Charles' leadership abilities. In private conversations with friends, Diana reportedly expressed doubts about King Charles' leadership abilities. She didn't believe that he had the strength or charisma needed to lead the monarchy into the future. According to Diana, King Charles lacked the decisive nature that she believed was essential for a successful monarch. She feared that without strong leadership, the monarchy could face significant challenges in the modern era. Princess Diana's concerns about King Charles' leadership were rooted in her observations of his indecisiveness and his reluctance to take bold actions. She believed that his tendency to overthink decisions and his reliance on advisors would prevent him from making the tough choices a king must make. In her view, King Charles' leadership style was more reactive than proactive, and she worried that this would hinder his ability to navigate the complexities of being a modern monarch. Princess Diana's fears about King Charles' leadership abilities offer a revealing insight into her understanding of the role of the monarchy in the 21st century. Number 12. Princess Diana's warning about King Charles' friends and influences. Diana was deeply suspicious of some of the people in King Charles' inner circle. She believed that many of them didn't have his best interests at heart and were more interested in maintaining their own positions of influence. Diana feared that these individuals could lead King Charles astray, guiding him toward decisions that would be harmful to the monarchy. Princess Diana's concerns about King Charles' friends and advisors were not just about their influence on him personally, but also about the impact they could have on the future of the royal family. She worried that King Charles was too easily influenced by those around him, and that this could lead to decisions that would undermine the stability of the monarchy. Princess Diana's warnings about the people in King Charles' life offer a fascinating glimpse into the power dynamics at play within the royal family and the potential consequences of being surrounded by the wrong people. Number 13. Her fear that King Charles would abandon royal traditions. Diana reportedly warned that King Charles' desire to modernize the monarchy could backfire. While she understood the need for change, she feared that King Charles' push to abandon certain royal traditions could alienate traditionalists and cause internal conflict within the royal family. Diana believed that the monarchy needed to evolve, but she worried that King Charles' approach could be too drastic. Princess Diana's concern was that by abandoning long-held traditions, King Charles could lose the support of those who valued the stability and continuity that the monarchy represented. She believed that while modernization was necessary, it needed to be done in a way that respected the past and maintained the core values of the royal family. Princess Diana's warnings about the potential dangers of modernizing the monarchy offer a thoughtful perspective on the delicate balance between tradition and progress in an institution as old as the British monarchy. Number 14. The disturbing letter predicting a royal crisis. One of the most chilling aspects of Princess Diana's warnings came in the form of a letter in which she predicted a major royal crisis. In this letter, Diana wrote that King Charles' decisions could one day lead to a scandal that would shake the foundation of the monarchy. This prediction has fueled speculation about what exactly Diana was referring to, with some believing that she foresaw the public controversies that would later surround the royal family. Princess Diana's letter reflects her deep understanding of the pressures facing the royal family and the potential for personal decisions to have far-reaching consequences. Her prediction of a royal crisis has been interpreted in many different ways, but the underlying message is clear. Diana believed that the choices being made within the royal family could have disastrous results if they weren't carefully considered. Her warning about a potential royal crisis serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of the monarchy and the importance of wise leadership. Number 15. Her belief that King Charles would be a divisive king. Princess Diana's final warning was perhaps her most personal. She feared that King Charles would be a divisive figure as king. She believed that his personality and leadership style would create more division within the royal family and among the British public. Princess Diana's concerns were rooted in her understanding of King Charles' character. She saw him as someone who struggled to unite people and who often created tension rather than harmony. Princess Diana's belief that King Charles would be a divisive king reflects her broader concerns about the future of the monarchy. She worried that without a strong unifying figure at the helm, the royal family could face internal conflict and a loss of public support. As King Charles steps into his role as king, many of Princess Diana's warnings continue to resonate, offering a poignant reminder of her insights into the complexities of royal life. From her concerns about his temperament to her fears about his future as king, it's clear that Diana had deep reservations about what lay ahead for the monarchy. But what do you think? Do you believe Diana's predictions about King Charles were justified? Could these warnings still impact the royal family today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more video content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!